Hi, my name's Lee Honish, and I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division, and I'm simply not wired like the rest of you. At the age of 18, I wanted to be a chef, and my father dragged me into the real estate business, and I have been here for 30 plus years working in distressed properties. But that isn't my full story. My full story starts back in grade school, junior high really. I was actually a very shy, withdrawn kid and wasn't a very good student at all. In fact, I was a D minus minus average at best. I also found out that I was dyslexic years later, and that lent to some of my setbacks educationally in life. And on top of it all, because I was so small and didn't really fit in, I was abused 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe until I took wrestling. The reason I bring all that up, I've gone through a series of failed relationships. My father recently died. I don't let any of that hold me back. When I got into this business, it may have not been my first choice. I made it my calling. I started off working in the banking industry while I went to school, and I have over a 30-year plus experience working in banking and real estate, specifically in distressed properties. I have been a bank executive. I have been a head loss mitigator. I've been an asset manager. I've even held the lowly title of property manager and had to strap water heaters. But through it all, I've tried to be the very best at what I do. In 2007, I was asked by a company to go out and teach short sales to people. And while I was at the bank, I started to teach people from 2007 to 2010. Ultimately, I left the bank and went to work for this company. During that period, I did 3 to 5 presentations per week, every week for 3 straight years, training tens of thousands of real estate agents. And we were just talking about this before the call. All of the designation lettered programs, both private and National Association of Realtor related, are all descendants of my educational process at that time. And in some way, I am still proud that some of these programs are still around. In 2010, I became a private consultant and a marketer. I was asked to help people get more listings. I work on one specific niche. I created marketing that was unique and works specifically with distressed property to help people get face-to-face. Today, I'm going to show you that marketing and how it works. But you need to make a decision about what the market is. And really, when it comes to distressed property or being successful in real estate in general, it's not about the relationship. It's not about a family member who's passed. It's not about the bills that are piling up. It's not about the fears. You have to move beyond those into a different place and sort of elevate yourself into a mindset of being successful. I used to be someone who let everything else around me affect my mood and how I did. For 10 straight years, I was named one of the most innovative marketers in America and one of the top marketers in America. And I never got any satisfaction out of it. That's the truth. I have been in front of hundreds of thousands of people and taught lots of people how to do distressed properties. I've changed the lives of homeowners and real estate agents and helped them provide for their family. But it wasn't until I started this company that I am doing right now, Home Advocates, that I realized the scope of what it's all led up to. I'm here to help 1 million homeowners and to train 1,000 real estate agents. And that's why you're on this call, and a couple of my coaching students are on this call. And to do that, you need to understand that we are at the beginning of a market turn. We are at the very beginning. When I started teaching in 2007, I already knew there were short sales, even though it wasn't a public thing. Working in the bank, I saw them, I negotiated them. In fact, I was there when the first one came into the HELOC division. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to show you 10 things that will definitively, there's going to be a market crash. In some markets, it will be simple and it will just be a market correction. But overall, it will be perceived as a market crash. And these are the 10 items that you need to keep an eye on from here on out because they're happening right now. Right now, if you were to go onto Realty Track, you can see that there is an increase in defaulted activity starting on the East Coast and working its way out to the West Coast like a big giant tidal wave. That's a fact. That is something documentable. That is something you can go look at. And let's talk about these 10 things that are very important so that you can make a market shift and be able to excel in real estate and get listings. Here's another fun fact that doesn't make this list. Last month, another 150,000 people signed up to become real estate agents. That means more competition for listings. I don't think anybody cares about buyers or being able to get buyers. I think that's an easy thing. It seems to be very easy for most of my students that I coach currently. The big deal is always about getting the listing. If you're an investor, it's about getting the deal. And everybody is chasing after the same crumbs. I'm going to show you a source for 1.6 million listings. I suspect it's actually more than that, and that's kind of the bigger problem here. Number 10, the eviction moratorium is over. I'm about to give you guys all a link right now, and feel free to open it, and I will show you what it is. To everyone, here's a link. There you go. This link will open up this page on my Home Advocates website. The first thing you'll see is a webinar. It's the last webinar I did. It'll be this webinar. There are 2 links to sign up for my program. I'm not discussing that. What I want to talk about are these 4 tools that I am giving you for being on this call. I'm giving you 5 things for showing up. Number 1, I'm going to invite you to be on our Wednesday coaching call each and every week so you can stay up on the market. Number 2, I'm going to let you download some marketing pieces, the exact same ones we're going to use in this presentation. Number 3, I'm going to let you download this PowerPoint. People seem to like to do that, and that way you don't have to do screen captures. Number 4 and 5, these 2 little items here. The first one is a state-by-state breakdown of defaults and how many there were state-by-state just a few months ago, the last time they did this survey, and what programs were in place. It's a great resource. The other one is by a website called nolo.com. Right? If you scroll down, it's about the eviction moratorium and whether or not somebody can be evicted. Leave it to an attorney-type website to break this all down. But as you can see, most of them are no. Okay, which means anybody can be evicted right now. These are crucial tools that you should have in your arsenal as a real estate professional or even as an investor. They're very beneficial to helping you be successful. All right. Number 9, 1.6 million people are in forbearance. That's a fact. I've heard it as high as 3 million, but I'm going to go and split the difference and go with the lower number that I constantly hear, which is 1.6, and that's off of a Black Knight report. These are things I know for a fact, okay? 1.6 million forbearances, okay, is 1.6 million defaulted homeowners. I'll say it again. 1.6 million forbearance people is 1.6 million people who've defaulted on their loan. Got it? As of the last day of last month, everyone who had a forbearance had the opportunity to pay it back and not have it appear on their credit and not to be in default. Those that did not, as of October 1st, are going to have those items put onto their credit with the amount that they owe so that they can't borrow more money. They are in default. At 31 days at 5 p.m., you're 30 days late. At 61 days at 5 p.m., you're 60 days late. At 91 days at 5 p.m., you're 90 days late. All right? The people who don't pay back forbearances, the people who have not made a payment, who did not pay those back at the end of the month, face the number of payments that they've missed. They face having the words forbearance put on their credit. It's several hundred FICO points as a hit. Number 8, 7.5 million unemployment checks have ended. Yeah, that's a fun fact. And another 4 million quit their jobs last month. That's going to have an impact. We're not going to see it immediately, but the long term of people no longer having a steady income is going to have an effect on the overall economy. Again, it's public perception. For you as a real estate professional, it's whether or not your clients want to sell their homes traditionally, right? Forget me trying to convince you that distressed is the easiest way to get your next listing. It is. I have people on this call that will tell you that. The reason I'm telling you all of this is that when the market changes perceptionally because of the media, right, And homeowners don't want to sell because they fear of not having a place to live or fear of losing value or whatever it is. Fear of a market crash. That means that getting listings any other way but to work distressed properties is the only viable option out there when you're talking about getting new listings. And it's something you need to keep an eye on. It's going to take a period of time, right? We just ended unemployment checks. We just ended stimulus checks. We're at the very beginning stages of those. They're bringing people online who have had forbearance agreements. They're starting to refile notice of defaults, notice of sale, auction dates, list pendencies across the country. All of those things are happening now in real time. We're at the very beginning of that very large tidal wave. Number 7, the interest rates are still way too low. Okay, as you well know, in November, the Fed is going to start tapering off their printing plan, right? The zero interest rate and printing plan. So they want to cut down the amount of money that they're printing and stimulating by printing that money. They want to cut back on the amount of that. The fear is going to be market shock, and the fear is going to be what effect that has on the stock market. And if you're wondering what that has to do with the real estate market, well, real estate is a commodity that's basically traded on Wall Street by public firms like BlackRock. There are many of them that use real estate like gold or silver or anything else. If the stock market starts to go sideways, right, or show a crash, again, it's market perception. I'm an asset manager. I've done this my entire adult life. I've worked specifically in distressed properties. And I can safely tell you that when assessing from a bank perspective, there is no doubt that the banks all see the writing on the wall. In fact, Jamie Dimon made a huge push on the presidential call to explain that we are in a very delicate moment with the economy. And I agree. Nobody wants the banks to fail. Nobody wants to crash. Nobody wants a reprise of 2007. However, because of what's going on, we're in the middle of hyperinflation. It's not inflation, it's hyperinflation, especially with the lack of goods and services. Okay. The number one thing I get out of real estate agent, the reason prices are so high, which is number 6, is supply and demand. It's not supply. We have the same supply that we've always had. Just use the word correctly. It's based on the demand. And it's based on number 7 because the interest rates are too low. And if you think that these historically low loan rates are going to continue to be, then you should probably go look and see what the historic interest rates are. They're not going to keep them here, okay? They're doing it to create equity so that people have equity. And their plan was that people could borrow against that and have funds after they cut off all the other funds. And sadly, Wells Chase, B of A, U.S. Bank, everybody's cutting off their credit lines and they're not making those loans, which is why you saw the government, i.e. Elizabeth Warren and everybody else, go on TV and say how stupid the banks were and how they're hurting the people who work in their bank. No, they didn't. They just ruined your plan by cutting off the equity lines because they can see the writing on the wall. Number 5, the renter evictions. Yeah, this is a problem. 7 million people. And again, it's a perceptional thing. I'm more terrified that it's no longer second story on the news. Before the last moratorium, it was a huge deal. And right now, it's just kind of glazed over and not discussed whatsoever. And that worries me tremendously. Number 4. Consumer confidence is at about a 67% that we're in a bubble, right? Again, this is about people selling their homes. And if they're afraid that the market's going to crash or they're going to lose value or not be able to find an additional place to live while we're at the top of the market, it's going to be harder to talk traditional people into listings. Number 3, the FICO reporting system. If you do not know this, during the pandemic, we shut off the FICO system. It's going to be turned back on. All the student payments, all the people who aren't making the payments on their car, approximately 10%, people who aren't paying on their loans. The latest Black Knight report is stating that it is about 3%, 2.6%. We did it on a coaching call. 2.4 to 2.6% are in extreme default rates. This has nothing to do with forbearance people, just severely delinquent people. It's 2.4%. Doing it off the top of my head, 2.4%. Now, if you want to compare that to 2007, they felt that 2% would be catastrophic. It went to 3% and got as high as 5%. So I'm pretty confident that in the 2 to 3 range, it's a lot of distressed properties coming on the market and a lot of opportunity for you to sell houses. But it's about making a fundamental switch into those markets. Number 2, foreclosure reporting and filing has increased. Yes, it's starting on the East Coast, rolling out from the West Coast. You can certainly get Realty Track and you can look at it in real time. Tens of thousands of people on the East Coast now have notice of defaults, auction dates, list pendences. Those are all very real things happening out on the East Coast, and it's coming this way. I'm in California. It's coming this way. Number 1, the government failed to fix it, and the government will continue to fail to fix it. I always take a deep breath before I say it because this is the one that I get the most pushback from on real estate people as well as homeowners, right? Everything's fine. They're going to take care of it. Everything will work out for the best. Well, they had $46 billion to help renters and homeowners who all made less than a household collective of $99,999 to be able to pay their landlords and to be able to stay in their properties, and they failed to do that. In fact, they failed so miserably at it that somehow the media stopped talking about it at all and in general. They stopped talking about evictions. They stopped talking about, a 2 to 3% default rate with homeowners. They don't talk about the everything bundle bubble that if they don't come to an agreement by December by raising the debt ceiling, it would there's so many different little supply shortages. There's just so many little things that are affecting the market. And again, market perception, we go back to consumer confidence and people listing their house and people wanting to get what they can get out of their house right now. It is in the best interest of people who've missed payments to get the equity that they have out of the property right now. All right, welcome back. So, there is a way to get in front. If you believe any, if not some of these, if not part of these, there's going to be a crash. There's going to be a correction. Real estate is market to market. I'm not going to lie about it. For as long as I've been in this industry, there have always been people who miss payments. I want to give you the opportunity to find out how to get in front of them and be able to give them a message. We call it a dignified solution. Our goal is to help 1 million people. The only thing that we ask for our educational process of any of our students, and they all know that, is that on your first appointment that you educate them and let them know there are alternatives to foreclosure. And then after that, I want them to list and sell the house with you. And everything that we do is designed for that. Back in 2010, I really focused on what the bigger problem is. 95% of all people have a fear of not being able to provide. It's very real. I do too. I have an it. I have a why. This is her, born August 6, 2004, and I'm happy to put her into every single one of my presentations. I can't stare too much at the screen, or to be perfectly honest, I will probably cry like a sappy father that I am. I'm a divorced single dad. I've made her my existence, and I understand that there's an it and a why in every single one of these houses. It is because of Home Advocates, it's because of this child that I've created marketing to help people, to help agents like you on this call provide for your family. And not having a fear of being able to provide. It is because of her that I managed to create Monster Marketing in 2010. 2010, I created a permission-based marketing approach, wrote a book, got featured on many publications. That marketing has helped literally hundreds of thousands of people. I was just talking about this with my CEO the other day. I've made real estate agents millions and millions of dollars. Some of the top real estate agents in the country were trained by me, and they made considerable amounts of money because of me. I've helped hundreds of thousands of homeowners, and I'm proud and I'm humbled, and I want to do more. And I'm requesting that you all help me. the first thing I'd like you to know is that mentors have mentors. There are 3 books that I fall back on. There are 3 books that I push to all of my students. There are 3 books that I talk about all the time. First is the 4 Agreements. The second is Permission-Based Marketing. And the third is The Secret by Rhonda Burns. I am not a metaphysical New Age person in any way, shape, or form. I just understand that when I do the 4 Agreements on a daily basis, I don't live in a world of stress. I don't make assumptions about my clients. I don't make assumptions about the market. And I don't take anything personally. People don't want to believe that the market is the way that it is. And people write me very nasty, hateful emails, including some people that I've actually trained, because they're afraid of the market turning. It's true. I work off of permission-based marketing. A man I'd like to call mentor and friend, Seth Godin, wrote a book that changed my life and helped me create my own marketing approach. I am the only person who can guarantee to get you face-to-face with someone who has to sell their house. That's a fact. I back it up, and I refund money if I can't do it. And the third is The Secret. Real estate is a nasty, negative place by and large. That's my experience. I had a license. And what I felt was that it was a very negative place of talking about people and deals and things you didn't get. The Secret is about manifesting and believing fundamentally that you will succeed and that you will achieve and that you will get basically listings, right? If you put your mind to it, you will get them. For some of you, I am what got manifested because you wanted new listings. You felt something was wrong with the market because of The Secret. That's what it is. It's not burning crystals or believing in an alien or whatever. It's not. It's about remaining positive and it's remaining focused. And it's about achieving your goals and your dreams. I've created 3 modules for my coaching product. I've been coaching now for 11 years. This is the best product I've ever put together in my entire life. The 3 modules are very simple. The first is the Home Advocates marketing system itself. This is an overview and an educational approach. The second is the Home Advocates community, which is a place where you can, if you're Wade Wright, one of our coaching students, put spiritual quotes. I don't care what you put up there as long as it's not hate or mean. Okay, we're a positive group and we're supportive of each other. And I make that very clear with my people. The third is the hub. This is where all of the bells and whistles are. We have a program we call the 12-step program. We have something called the face-to-face program. We do 3 coaching calls per week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Tuesday is marketing. Wednesdays are general coaching call, the one I'm inviting all of you to for watching this. And then Thursday is our scripts and conversion call. And we're actually going to take something directly out of that today. We have an iBuyer program where you take the listing. Hopefully you took it for 6%. And we'd like you to make 5% of that commission. You only have to pay 1% to use our buyers, our investors who pay fair market value and have it all done in a couple of weeks. We also have an investor program. Get asked all the time. I'm taking investors. I'm happy to help them. I'm happy to figure out how to flip, assume, as long as the homeowner is not hurt, as long as the homeowner is helped. That's the goal of our program. Currently, we have the Think Like Me program. We have a lot of students going through injuries and surgeries. It seems to say that some of our coaching students are older, but they're going through some things. So I made a collection point of books and audio and things that I consume that have helped me achieve my knowledge and my insight. We have a complete 10-year archive of every marketing piece that we've ever done. We have a over 1,000 hour video archive. And lastly, a white label book selection for all of you to go through. And you can be the best-selling author of a real estate book or a distressed property book. Those are all parts of the program. But first, let's focus on what I call the face-to-face method. I'm going to teach it to you. Anybody on this call can do it. I know that all of you are asked at least once, if not many times throughout your day, if you're doing your job correctly, and that is you as a product going out and branding yourself as a product. You're asked, what is it that you do, right? I go to, my daughter's in flag, right? She's color guard. So there's a competition on Saturday, and I'll go up and I'll unpack and I'll meet the new families this year. And inevitably, I will have somebody ask me, what do I do? I'm going to help you guys with all of that and how I actually handle that question. We call it the talk-up method. This is sort of a marketing piece in your purse that any of you can do. And when you are aligned and you invest in Home Advocates, I'm going to show you exactly how far that can take you. The first thing is packaging. I used to say that you should dress for success all the time. I'm a banker. I wear a lot of ties. I wear a lot of suits. I've been doing it for over 30 years. People actually find it out of my nature to not see me in a tie and a jacket. Now, they are expecting flip-flops and they are expecting a painted toenail. My daughter does that. 17 and she's still picking out toe color, so I won't forget her when I'm working. So I had to figure out a method that worked for any kind of packaging or situation that I was in, right? So that when the inevitable question comes up of what do you do, I say the same thing. Lee, what do you do? I fix broken real estate. What do you mean? I help people who've missed payments. We have a card that all of our students can get. It's a template. On the front is a generic testimonial that was to our company. On the back is a place where our advocates can write in their information. I always tell them the same thing. I help people who've missed payments. Oh my gosh, what great work, or whatever they say. I'm really bad with people, to be perfectly honest. I'm downplaying how bad I am with people, actually. I'm a banker. I'm a cynic. I work very hard. I'm being a good person every day. So when they ask me back, well, what's that like? What do you do? Do you know somebody who has missed a payment because of COVID, or did they take out a forbearance because of COVID? Did they know they were in default? Whatever the conversation sort of leads to. Hey, let me give you my cell phone number and write it down on the front. I don't give this to everyone. I'd like you to hold on to it in case you or your cousin or someone you know has a problem being able to not make their payment, right? And then I always do this, and I push this for all of my students, and this is almost why you don't need this particular marketing piece. I've gone one step beyond this particular marketing piece, right? All of my students can use our 800 number. All of our students can use our generic advocate at Home Advocates, and all of our students get to use our website as their landing page, and I'm going to show you how. I do this all the time when somebody asks me. I always tell people, and I'll tell everybody on this call, open up a browser, right? Really simple. Open up a Google browser or open up your iPhone browser, whatever it is, and type in Home Advocates. Home Advocates is line one as a distressed property solution on Google. In fact, on all of the search engines. Now that's important because we're above actual county government and other organizations. I've put in a lot of effort. And this is my years of experience of doing marketing and understanding SEO and understanding everything about market. I poured it into this program for you that are watching this so that you have instant credibility. The 90% of the real estate agents that I encounter do not have the correct web presence. They don't have social media. They don't have anything. People verify you by going online. And when you can tell a client, hey, just type in Home Advocates, line one, distressed property solution. And when they do, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. This is a pretty amazing thing. On the front page of our website are listed all of our agents, just like that. Just like you, when you invest and want to be a part of our program. Just like that. Simple. I'm actually very proud of that. Let's see if I do that. It will go right back to that. Now, let's talk about my direct marketing method. We call it the 12-step program. And if you're wondering if that's a Bill W. reference, it is. And in fact, my 12-step program has 13 steps. And I'm going to share them with you. I'm even going to show you my marketing piece. So this is exactly as it lays out in our 12-step program. And for those of you following along, let's see if you can actually do it and you would be comfortable doing this. Step 1 and 2. Tell us the areas you're going to work in so that we can send you leads. Number 2, let us know when you're going to start. Simple as that. Number 3, we want you to order some Avery 6464 labels. They are repealable 6 to a page Avery laser labels. You can get them on Amazon. There's a link on the coaching page. Download our actual marketing piece. On that marketing piece is a pre-printed 800 number. No, not that one, but there is one on there. I'm going to show it to you in a minute with a sample test piece that we're trying out as of Monday. This marketing piece has been around for 11 years. It's gone through many forms. It looks just like a FedEx delivery label. What it is, in fact, is an opportunity for an advocate to be delivered to a homeowner. And here's how it works. You print these out, 2 pages, and on Monday and Wednesday, you're going to spend 1 hour putting out 12 labels, right? You're just going to pick 12. You're not doing hundreds. You're not spending 40 to 50 hours. I'm a work smarter, not harder guy. In fact, I enjoy not working harder a lot myself. You're going to use a program called Root Excel, 100% free and online. You're going to put 12 addresses in, and you're going to have them map it all out. And then once you know the order, you're going to write them up. You're going to put their last name and a tracking number along with your initials, right? And then you're going to jump in your car and you're going to drive to the first house. When you get to the first house, you're not going to knock on the door. You're not going to engage the homeowner. You're going to place that label with their last name and a tracking number and your initials on the front door, the garage door, or on the outside of a mailbox. I'm pretty sure all of you on this call can handle this so far. Doesn't seem that technical. Then you're going to go home after you do 12 houses. Should take you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. On Monday, we'd like to do it again on Wednesday. A homeowner will find this and they will call the 800 number that is listed on that delivery label. That call goes to a call center that we've set up and that we maintain. They will be told that a homeowner advocate wants to come over and talk to them about their alternatives to foreclosure. Simple as that. We don't want you to do anything else. We will take care of everything and we will send it directly to you. Once you get an appointment, and you will, because I guarantee you will, we want you to download what we call our first meeting package. In fact, I'm going to show it to you on this call because the things that I am teaching you are hopefully things that if you don't invest in our program, it's information that will help you, right, and help a homeowner. I believe that paying it forward and showing everything could have the impact of helping in my goal of helping 1 million homeowners. What you're looking at on the screen are what the leads look like when they come in. We get the name, we get their cell phone number, we occasionally get their email address. Let's see if we got one with an email address. There you go. We'll get their email address, the caller ID, they'll read off their tracking number, and all appointments are scheduled on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 3 p.m. It's a generic scheduling time so that, those are just the days that you get them. So if you put out marketing pieces on Monday, you will have appointments on Tuesday or Thursdays after 3 p.m. So don't put out marketing unless you can do appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 3 p.m. You're not going to call them. You can leave them a message and let them know that you are the advocate. You will be there on Tuesday after 3, between 3 and 5, or whatever time you set up. Don't talk to them. It's the number one mistake for everybody who joins. They want to talk to the homeowner. Don't talk to them. This is all about your face-to-face appointment. What you're looking at is about 1 hour's worth of leads. And I'm happy to share these all with you, and all these people have met with people. I can also share this with you. From the first time you meet someone to actual listing is approximately 3 to 6 weeks. If you're doing your follow-up correctly and you are, that's another thing going on in the coaching room right now. I'm going to start more aggressively doing following up for the coaching students into an automated system because everything is so generic and we do track the leads. I don't believe that my actual existing coaching students are doing enough to get to the listing. At the end of the day, the reason you're on this call, the reason you're listening to me, the reason I have coaching students is to get listings and help your family too. I'm not naive. Okay. I might be on a mission to help 1 million homeowners, but I'm also trying to help your family. I said it on a coaching call, and I know that Connie and one of my other students, even Antonio, are on the call. I said this on a coaching call. My goal is to make all of my students millionaires. That is my goal. Okay? So if you're on here and you want to join a program where everybody's got a mindset of making 1 million, jump right in. These were just sent out this week to my coaching students. These are samples of postcards with the same call center on the front. I'm happy to kind of share this information and share with you what we're testing right now. This will be a part of the system within a couple of weeks. I just sent it out on Tuesday as part of the marketing call and handed it out to about 30 or 40 coaching students so that they could go get them printed, send them out. And so I know exactly how many you have to send. We don't pay for the printing. I've got it all set up. It's kind of a pipeline. I believe you should send out 100 postcards per week within your county, handwritten. The new pieces are a little more tweaked than this, but this is about to be a part of the system as well. This is the newest form of marketing. So now you've got something walking around that will generate leads. For a fact, the face-to-face method generates lead. You have to talk to 5 people, and you will find one person that has missed payments or did a forbearance. Fact. We had a contest. I only work on this is a fundamental fact. If you put out 12 marketing pieces twice a week, 24 marketing pieces, you should have approximately 2 to 4 face-to-face appointments every week. We guarantee that you will get face-to-face. If you do not, we will refund your investment, no questions asked. This approach, I just need to know how many to send out that will actually generate an actual appointment as well. So that's actually in the development phases. I'm also working on something called Red Marketing. I'm very proud of that, which is about basically taking your message to wanting to help homeowners and to take it viral and spread it all over the internet through 3 different forms of marketing platforms. That's also in development and included. Anything I create is included. Next on the hub are coaching calls, right? I'm going to talk about scripts and conversions, and I'm going to share those. As I told you, you can go to that page that I gave you and you can download marketing pieces. But here's exactly how those marketing pieces are that I gave you and how they work. We worry about first contact to final action. The only thing I ask of my students is first contact. Please, 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 just read the 9 alternatives to foreclosure. Please don't push the sale on your first meeting. That's it. After that, it's fair game. Got it? So, your very first meeting, which I believe all of you can do because I wrote this 11 years ago. I can't make it any simpler. Hi, my name's Lee. Are you aware that you are actively in foreclosure? You're going to have to hand them a copy of their notice of default, notice of sale, auction list pendants, whatever it is for your state. You're going to verify it and prove it. I'm a homeowner advocate in your area, and I've been asked to come by and to educate you on your alternatives to foreclosure. Nobody has ever been shut down in this conversation. You're either shut down before you get to this, right, before you read script number 1, but it's never after you tell them that you're a homeowner advocate. Everybody gets to read the 9 alternatives to foreclosure once they get past the first script. And then you just read them. As you can see, because I know many of you have probably already downloaded the free marketing pieces that I've given you, number 1 is do nothing. Number 2 is pay off or refinance. The 3rd is reinstate. The 4 is partial claim. Number 5 is deed in lieu of foreclosure, somewhat popular. Number 6, bankruptcy. Number 7, loan modification. Not very popular, but it's going to be popular in FHA and VA loans, and it's a 40-year by Ginnie Mae that got approved by HUD. And I'll be talking about that in the next couple of months. And number 8 is forbearance. If they've had a forbearance, they only get one forbearance. If they're in forbearance and they haven't paid the money back, they're in default. There aren't going to be a lot of forbearance agreements after the moratorium's over. Trust me when I say that. And number 9, sale. Again, I am here to get you listings at the end of the day. I'm not dumb. I know that the reason you want to work with homeowners, yes, I'm sure genuinely you want to help people and make it a better place. I only seem to attract those people. But number two, I get it. You want listings. You want commissions, right? It makes sense. Help your family, help others. 85% of what we do is for free. 15% will pay us. It's something that I teach my students almost on a weekly basis when I share it with you. The last part of the script is very simple. We call it the $1 Million Closer, came out of one of our live presentations. I just have one question before I leave. What did the bank do to you? I know that doesn't sound like a big line. It's a huge line. And in fact, I wish I wrote it. It's such a good line. That's why we're still teaching it years. I think that happened in a live event 7 years ago, and we're still teaching it as a scripted line. Homeowners will blame the bank. They will blame their agent. They will blame the person who made the loan. The reality is they have no one to blame but themselves for being in the situation that they are, and it's very hard. I know this even for myself personally, right? It's hard to take personal responsibility when things go bad. Then you follow up with them. Hey, is it all right if I follow up with you in a few days? Can I bring you some information that might be helpful? That's it. Your first appointment will last somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour if you've done it correctly. And then you will follow up and you will go back to meet with them. You want to have 3 to 5 appointments before they're going to be in a position to tell you that they want to sell. So the sooner you get to your follow-up and going back and providing them information, the sooner you get to listing. And on encounter 2, you're going to bring them. It's the law of reciprocity if you want to get into the psychology of this and why my degree in psychology matters. It's called the law of reciprocity. You're going to bring them things of value and you're going to educate them. You're going to be positioned in for them. And then the second step is the big question. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I just want to know, have you made a decision on what you're planning to do? Which one of the 9 alternatives to foreclosure are you interested in? If they say anything other than I want to sell my house, this is the script. And again, it's another $1 million decision-making tool that came out of one of our live events that we share openly and still using 7 or 8 years after the fact. I understand that, and I hope that works out for you. I just have one question before I leave today. What's your plan B? The reason I want that to happen is so that they can ask me, well, what's the big deal if I sell my house? You're getting to it. You have equity, right? You have equity in the walls. We're not in a short sale market. We're not in an upside-down market. We're in an equity-rich market where homeowners have on average $51,500, Black Knight report, in equity. And they're willing to lose that by chasing after things that they will not get. Does that make sense? We call it a dignified solution. That is what we do here. In exchange for doing this work with us and educating the homeowners, they will list their house with you. They will. 85% of the people you meet will not get approved for loan mods. 85% of the people you meet will not stay in forbearance. 85% of the people you meet will not wind up doing a bankruptcy. They'll say all those things. 85% of the people you meet will have the title on their house transferred. They will sell it, or the bank will sell it, or it'll be a deed in lieu of foreclosure for some ridiculous reason, which is the same as a foreclosure, but nobody ever explains it correctly. So 85% of the people you meet with, 8.5 people out of 10 people you meet with, are going to transfer the title of their home. There is no way for you to predict that in a traditional listing standpoint. That is why I teach distressed properties. It's difficult because it challenges us emotionally, and I get that, right? We're working with people with real struggles, just like us. Fear of being able to provide, just like you, right? Worrying about getting the next listing. They're worried about losing their home and not being able to pay for things, right? I fundamentally understand all of that. But 8.5 people out of 10, 8.5 are going to have title transferred, right? Your job at the end of the day is to help them get that equity, to make a dignified solution. That's what our mission is. You get listings, you provide for your family, you give them a dignified solution, they get equity, They settle their debts. They get to move on. That's the work we do here at Home Advocates. We have a couple of coaching students on the line with us. You follow up. It's like anything else. You can't do this with traditional listings. You're not going to compete with everybody who's going after canceleds and, expireds. It's an endless wheel. You can't keep going to coaches that tell you to spend 40 to 50 hours prospecting every week to try to find a listing in a couple of months, and it's your fault. You're not trying hard enough. I don't believe that about any of my students. I make my stuff, my marketing, my approaches, my way of doing life as simple as I humanly can. So we have the 12-step program. We have the face-to-face program. You get to be on the front page of our website. You'll be exposed to the automated postcard system, which should be out in a couple of weeks. All of our coaching calls are cataloged in archive. You get 3 coaching calls per week plus 1 live one-on-one call with Derek, my CEO. You get access to our iBuyer program. You get access to our investor program. You get access to every marketing piece that I've ever written or created in all their various forms. You get access to all of our live webinars and trainings that I've ever created or taken video of at live events. And of course, you can have a white label book that you are, in fact, the author of. You will be named a best-selling author when you join the program. You can simply do that. So how do you join? I gave you guys a link. You can invest a one-time fee with no monthly fee, or you can upgrade if you're a previous student. If you are part of Short Sale Genius, Home Advocates, Short Sale Genius, Monster, or AMS, Advocate Marketing System, which is David Bartel's system that I helped him create and coach. If you are part of one of those 3 programs, you click the second link and you can upgrade. Our full price online is legitimately 66% more. Like, I can't even do math. It's almost time to eat keto, lasagna, and watch football. It is a price that is, the investment's going to go up, right? It's really going to go up. It's more than half off. We're making this available right now for all of you to get in before the wave happens. Once this becomes mainstream, we are going to raise the price. I'll show you. It's already that way on our site. There it is. I already zoomed right by it. There. So here's the link. This is our Home Advocates Academy page. Now I'm telling you guys, you should sign up right now because I'm going to throw in 3 bonuses, and this is the last week of these bonuses. If you're watching this on a YouTube replay or on a replay period, these bonuses may still be available, or they may not, or the price may have gone up. I'm just being honest. This is the front page of our Academy page. When you click Get Started here, it'll tell you that it's $5,000. That's what our price is going to be November, sometime at the end of October, hopefully next week if my CEO isn't paying attention. You can invest right now on that link I gave you, homeadvocates.io/event, right? If you're watching this on YouTube or as a replay, there should be a link attached. If not, go ahead and type that in, homeadvocates.io, not .com, .io/event. There is a one-time investment of $19.97, and if you're a previous AMS Monster Short Sale Genius, you can get it at an upgrade price of $9.97. That price is going to double, okay? When you sign up today, before I turn off this webinar, this is not available if you're watching this on replay. You have to be on one of the live events to get it, which is the way I do this. When you sign up today, sorry, I lost my brain. There we go. Number 1, you will get a Home Advocates lifetime guarantee, right? The Homeowner Advocate Marketing System is 100% guaranteed to get you face-to-face or Zoom-to-Zoom, and if we do not, we will refund your investment, no questions asked. Because of COVID, I have to add Zoom-to-Zoom, right? We might lose the ability to go meet with people. So far, We have not had that issue over the last several months with our coaching students. They've all had face-to-face, and nobody's had to do Zoom to Zoom. So that's a very positive thing. Now, I'm giving out 3 bonuses for this. I normally cut this off, and nobody ever sees what the bonuses are. This is for all of you on the call and why you should sign up. And they only happen on these live webinars.